Welcome to Tokyo Alpha, the show where we talk about the Japanese NFT market. My name is Tony. I host NFT Nippon, which is Japan's top-ranked Japanese language podcast on NFTs. And as always, I am joined by my co-host Crypto, the co-founder, one of the co-founders of the Japanese Alpha community, Spam DAO. Hey, Crypto!
Hey, what's
So, welcome back. Last week I did a solo show because you were kind of busy. And then but you're back, so that's great. And I always start the show by asking you, where are you?
I'm in Thailand and
Okay.
spending some time with the NFT guru to learn from the best.
That's so interesting. Thailand NFT guru. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's true. Like I'm like 100% focusing on NFT.
Wow. That's like in Japanese we say that's like shugyo.
Yeah.
That's like when Goku goes to train, right? He always says he goes to shugyo, right? That's like you're training with the NFT like sensei.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like all I do is just work out and talk about NFT all day.
Wow. Oh man, that's you're gonna go Super Saiyan soon.
Yeah, hope so. I mean, we have expectation to meet, right?
Yeah. So, anything you want to say about Zeal Chain, the project that you're leading, you're working on?
Yeah.
Anything new that happened over there?
Yeah. We just opened up the Discord the other day, and it kind of blew up. Like
oh
yeah, that it took me about 2 months to build 3,000 followers on Twitter, and right after we opened up, it went all the way up to like 17K followers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's okay. I mean, I mean, I was watching you since the very beginning. I mean, I knew since before you announced it, and I was watching the Twitter account, and it was growing little by little by little by little, and it's fine. Like, I mean, everybody wants 20,000 followers right away, but it's okay to grow little by little. But I guess once the Discord opened, it's like everybody just started spreading it.
Yeah, like we didn't do any paid shield, or you didn't use influencer or KOL, or we never did like like retweet and tag 3 friends kind of scheme.
Yeah,
that's so web 2, and it just kind of gives off the vibe you just want to sell out the supply and run, right? Like we want everything organic.
Yeah, I mean, that's that more and more people are saying, like the whole Twitter giveaway thing is just not the best idea. Like if you just want to sell out and then figure it out afterwards, I mean, yeah, that's one way to do it. But if you actually want to build a community that's there to stay and to, like see what you can do in the long term, that's probably not the best approach, because you really have no power over, who is getting in. It's just like it's a total random thing. It's like whoever just wants to retweet, they have, they might get in. So it's a shotgun approach, I guess that you could put it. It's like you're just trying to see who wants to come in.
Basically, yeah. Like we got so many, yeah. Yeah, I can't say the word, but yeah.
But I mean, that's the NFT market. I mean, we all do some flipping and all that. That's fine. That's how it is. But it's also up to the project to find the right balance between the people that are genuinely interested and the people that are just there to flip. So it's like it's a balance on both sides, right? Like everybody's trying to find the thing that works for them, and the project needs to find the best way to build it for their purposes, and you're choosing to go the more organic route and all that. I think that's a good approach. That's I think better for the long term.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And we
so okay. So then you're still in. Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to drop no.
Oh no. Okay. So. Yeah. Oh, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like our supply is gonna be very limited, and the amount of people who guess the whitelist is gonna be even more limited.
Uh-huh.
And on top of that,
okay, good to know.
On top of that, we're gonna be running collector's tests on each candidates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, just I mean, the regular listeners already know what Zeal Chain is, but just the one sentence thing is, Zeal Chain is a new project that crypto is. Are you the project lead, or like what's your official?
Yeah, I'm the
thing
one leading the project.
Okay, yeah, but of course, the thing that I always bring up, because it's the thing that people will automatically react to, is that the art is being done by Yoshitaka Amano, who is of course well known for having done the designs for much of the Final Fantasy series. So, it's definitely a unique and notable thing in that respect. And I Crypto has a lot of experience in the space, so I trust that he's being very careful with it. So, personally, I'm interested, and it's just interesting to see the whole thing growing from the very, very beginning. So, yeah, that's Zeal Chain. That's ZIELCHAIN. Just at Zeal Chain on Twitter if you're interested.
Yep. Zeal means soul, and
chain
is a chain, right? So.
Yep. And chain is a chain.
It's like a connection.
Yeah,
like
Zeal Chain.
Yeah, soul connection, basically.
Like, true. Yeah. And kind of the theme or the concept is like uploading the soul into like a virtual world, something like that, right?
Yep. And we're gonna come and make the co-create the story with the community. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to get to co-create with Yoshitaka Amano, that sounds pretty cool. So, I mean, yeah. Well, every week I ask you for updates. So next week we'll see what you have to say. All right. So let's get into the rest of the show. Have you bought anything lately?
I think I'm thinking about buying Renga, but that's about it. Like I did mostly selling.
Yeah, so I sold something. It was a Devil Kitty, which was the Genesis collection of Ao Umino, who did Ao Panda Party. Yeah, I decided I need to take out some money from my NFTs and just kind of put it back into cash. Get a little bit more safe. And that's a very, very illiquid collection. That collection sells like once every 2 months or something. Like it's very infrequent. And so I just listed one for like 1.9, and that was my last Devil Kitty, and it sold like yesterday, I think. So that was a nice, that one I actually got for free in a giveaway. So I went from 0 to like 1.9. So that was very nice. So I took out like 60% of that in cash, I think, and the rest I was using to buy like a few NFTs here and there. And I still have some left on the side. So, one of the things that I bought was Tougenkyou. I bought a couple of those. That launched back on December 17th when there was this crazy rush to get out a bunch of Japanese NFT projects. And Tougenkyou, to be perfectly honest, I haven't done like much research into it. I can't really say much about the project aside from it was very, a lot of people were paying attention to it, and the artist was well known, and the team is a bunch of well known people. It's a 3,000 item collection, and the floor has been holding. It's been very stable. So it's a small collection with a very stable floor. So I just bought a couple, and just hold. Maybe long term, whatever. I figure maybe little by little it might go up. I'm in no rush. I don't think this is going to dump to 0 anytime soon. So yeah, just a little swing there, and on an interesting project. And I figure eventually I'll maybe look into it more deeply.
Yeah, I mean, they have the like interesting revealing system. They reveal twice basically. And so far, they revealed only
which
once.
one? What? They revealed what?
They have 2 steps reveal system.
Tougenkyou?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so it
okay.
revealed once, and it's gonna reveal, again. Like I don't know when, but it's gonna reveal again.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know about that. See, look, just total degen. Like, okay, I'll just buy them. Just spend like 0.06 ETH on like something I don't fully understand. That's the way to do
okay.
it.
That's okay. That's okay. I do that all the time.
Well, yeah. But again, like the people that have been working on this are all super well known people in the Japanese NFT space. So that's really, that's why I would do that. Otherwise, I would only do it if it was super cheap. Or I would do a little more research into it. But yeah, anyway, so I just got a couple of those. And then the other thing that I bought a few more of is Kurenai.
Yeah.
So we can talk about Kurenai. So that did its final reveal last night. So it was a 2-stage reveal. So the first one, you found out what type of character you got. There were 4 types. There was the male type, the female type. There was a karakuri and the kurenai. And the kurenai is the rarest and the most, like, now they're selling for, quite a bit more above floor. I saw one for like 0.5 and like 0.3, 0.4, I think. And the floor is at like 0.0645, something like that. And since yesterday it was trending on OpenSea. I don't know how it's doing right now, but it got some volume after the reveal. And we've talked about this project a bunch of times, but basically the artist is well known. The guy is named Blue. He goes by the name Blue. He's a Japanese artist, and the kind of project founder, lead is builder, whatever you want to call him, but he's like his name is Big Hat. Well, he goes by the name of Big Hat Monkey, and he's well known in the Japanese space. He's an kind of influencer in the Japanese space, and he's done a bunch of other monkey based projects. So this was highly anticipated, and this came out on December 17th, like so many other projects, and it was having trouble. Like a lot of flippers, I guess, got in. They were talking about how, Big Hat Monkey was talking about how he gave a bunch of whitelists to like alpha groups, and he kind of regrets doing that, and he kind of was saying like, oh, maybe I should have done that. And I guess, that has probably affected some of the price action, but it's been going up and down, like between like 0.04-ish to up to like over 0.09, and now it's back down to 0.649. So it's just up and down in this kind of locked range. But yeah, I had sold 2. I was left with 2. Then I ended up getting like 4 more.
Wow.
So I'm holding. Like, but what about you? I know you minted. What do you have then? What did you do?
Like I minted 8, and I got 1 Kurenai and I sold it for 0.15, and I dumped the rest because I didn't see the potential. I mean I didn't see the green lights. It's doing better than I expected. Yeah.
Oh, I think you cut out there.
Yeah. Well, they're doing very well. Like, the people are still interested in Japanese project.
Yeah, like, I mean, we were talking about this, before the reveals, but when it started, it wasn't looking that great because the listing numbers were like 8-9% or something, and the floor just wasn't moving. And it was right before LLAC launched, and so there was very little attention on other projects. One thing that I personally don't like is that Kurenai doesn't have its own Twitter. It only has the Big Hat Monkey Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really bad choice.
I think so.
For this kind of project.
I agree.
Yeah. I think that was a really, not a good decision. I understand that everything, all his stuff, comes from him. And so he wants to, I guess, keep it all in his account, but that's I don't think that's good for the brand. They're trying to build this into something bigger. This isn't just a little art project.
Right.
This at least they're trying to build this into a bigger brand, and I think it's much harder to build a Twitter account after a project launch instead of before, when all the attention is on the project. So I don't agree with that decision. But anyway,
same.
Mm-hmm. So Yeah, so both you and I were in agreement. Like before LLAC launched, like we weren't liking how it was looking, but then after LLAC, like I started seeing people buying other stuff again. I started attention went a little bit back to Kurenai. The listings went down a lot. They were like down to like 2%. The floor was stable and going up. So I was liking that. And then after the reveal, it didn't like dump super bad. So that's why I decided to just get a few more. I like the art. I do like the art quite a bit. I think it's like, I'm going to be really, really blunt here. I think a lot of the Japanese projects that we see are kind of rushed and they do super simple, low effort art. And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's okay. But it's also nice to see a well done generative with really good art. And I think Kurenai got the art done very well.
I agree. Yeah, I really like the art. I'm not sure about the size of the supply. Like we have such a slow volume market for Japanese, and with the 10,000 supply, that's like such a risk.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is a risk. So, yeah, I mean, it's a risk, but we'll see what happens with that. But one thing that I do want to say about the art, and this is, it's a personal preference thing, but I think that it's awesome. I like it. I've been looking at it like constantly since the reveal and just checking the floor tons of times and looking at all the different traits. It's super detailed. Tons of time and effort went into this. Blue did a great job. It's a fun collection to look through. Cool traits. What I will say is that it's the person, the kind of the characters are a little bit small in the frame, right? So like when you shrink it, like the face becomes really small, and it can be a little bit hard to identify some of the traits once it's in a PFP size, especially on the phone. So that's not the best for the PFP kind of thing, but also it has a good unique vibe. So I think like even if you can't tell all the traits right away, you can kind of identify it as a Kurenai fairly easily. It has its own distinct style that's pretty different from like CryptobeerPunks or a lot of the other Japanese projects. So even though you can't see the face, like bam, like right my CryptobeerPunk PFP, like you can see the face very clearly. Even though it's smaller in Kurenai, I think overall the composition, like it's still very recognizable. So I don't know, we'll see. That might be a plus or a minus, but in terms of the art, I like it. So I'm just gonna say that.
Okay, I
agree. And we'll see. I think it definitely could go up. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought in if I thought it was going to zero. I think there's potential in this, and not just like a quick flip, but I think they could actually do something with this. But I really don't know the details of Big Hat Monkey's like long-term plan with this, what he wants to do. But what we've seen in the Japanese NFT space is that generally speaking, once the unique owners goes down and the number of listings goes down by quite a bit, then we start to see the floor move because things get super, the floor gets super thin and you don't need like crazy amounts of volume to get it up. And then you've got like the diamond hand community left over, so they're not going to crash the floor. The extreme examples of this are all the CMP, related projects, but it happens in other projects as well. So it may take. Yeah, exactly. I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Neostacky, exactly. So, we've seen it happen in other projects, and one of these was Neostacky. So we did talk about Neostacky a while ago before it launched, and several times. This was, I think, early December when it launched. And it was a project that I did have whitelist for. I minted it, and then I bought a second one. I ended up selling both for a little bit of profit because I thought the overall NFT market in Japan was not looking good at the time. So I thought, I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to get out and see what happens. And then that thing pumped like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it got over 0.8, right?
It's at like 1.2 or 3, I think.
1.2. What, really that much?
Yeah,
oh my,
this
wow.
Is like a forced project that went above 1 ETH from Japan.
Yeah, outside of like the CMP stuff, basically.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Yeah. I mean, well, CryptobeerPunks did go over 1 ETH, but then that was like the what's it called? The foreign traders getting in, and then they got out, and the floor didn't go back over an ETH.
Oh.
Ever, I think. But I mean, now it's at like 0.8 or something. But still, I mean, this is really uncommon to get over 1 ETH in the Japanese NFT market. Again, this is called Neostacky. I'll put a link in the comments. But this one, but the supply is also quite small. So it's what, 1,000?
About 2,000, I think.
Yeah, 1,650.
Ooh.
So that's yeah. Like I was liking that when I saw it, but again, just because of the overall trend in the Japanese NFT market, I wasn't liking that. So that's what made me sell. Otherwise, I may have held that one. But the interesting thing is that so it was holding at like 0.2, and then it went up to like the 0.3s. And then it started pumping like crazy. And apparently one of the things that happened was Kosei, the founder, the main founder, I don't know, he said in a tweet, like, my foreign investor friends decided to sweep the floor or something like that. So I guess that drove it up, and it was already mostly in the hands of the diamond handlers, right? It was mostly accumulated out. And so probably the listings were already very low in like the 1 to 2%. So it didn't take much to pump the floor. So yeah, good job, Neostacky. I mean, there's some people in there that have huge, bags of Neostacky because they were accumulating back when it was like 0.2 and around that area. So hey, good, congratulations, guys. So yeah, so it happens, and I don't know, could it happen? Kurenai? Of course, it could happen with Kurenai. It's just that it's more supply, so it's more difficult, right?
I think
that's the thing.
It takes more liquidity.
Yeah, it takes more liquidity and more time to it because right now the listings is 13%. So yeah, that's not good. The floor is holding, but 13% is a lot. So I don't know. I figure this might be like a month-long hold or more for a few of them. I do probably want to keep 1 or 2, but if it goes up, I will trim the bags, as they say. But hope it does well, because I think there's plenty of room for this kind of art, and I really hope it does well. So all right, so what else sold? Of course, we have to briefly talk about LLAC. So last week I talked a whole bunch about LLAC. Live Like a Cat, that thing, minted out. But okay, so this is something that always annoys me. I've heard a few people here say it's a 20,000 item collection and it's at like 4 ETH. Like, no. So yes, there are 20,000 items in the collection, but not 20,000 items in circulation. The team kept 65%. So this is not a 20,000 collection in practice. It's not like in reality, it's not. One day, maybe in years from now, maybe it might be, but at the moment it's like 8,000 or something like that. And even then, yeah, it's not as simple as that, because there's a whole thing with like you're not supposed to sell and this and that. Like this is not a secret. Ikehai-san has talked about it. Everybody knows, like anything connected to Crypto Ninja Partners, especially Crypto Ninja Partners itself. There's a whole kind of culture of diamond handing, quote unquote, and Ikehaya-san talks about how he's going to be sad if people sell, and then like it becomes harder to get whitelist if you do sell, and basically LLAC is like the next evolution of this. They're kind of taking this to the next level, and so the number of listings is like 0.3%, something like that. So this thing, basically the first few sales were under 2 ETH, like 1.6, 1.9, pumped over 4 ETH in the next like 2-3 days, and what's it at now? I think it's at like 3.1 last I checked. But this is the volume has slowed down a lot, of course. 3.1, yep. And I really don't think there's really not that many buys coming in a day. That being said, I mean, these are 3 ETH sales, so even if it's not that many buys, it's still impressive. So I mean, that's how they get the floor to go up. So it's a combination of people don't want to sell. They give it to very few people, even though they have a big supply, and then that drives FOMO. So the people that are genuinely interested in the project, they're going to pay 2, 3, 4 ETH for it. And then the foreign traders, I know a few foreign traders that got into this and made some quote unquote big bags, as they told me. They made some profits from that. So that drives the floor up, and then the Japanese people are buying, the more expensive ones. So, yeah, that's how they get the floor to move, because there's not enough liquidity in the market to, move a project from 0.2 to 4 ETH only in Japan, right? Like if you're talking about only the average Japanese person, they're not going to be spending that much money. So, by all means, it was an absolute success. But aside from some general kind of life coach sort of community, I really can't tell you what is going on with that project. I don't really know all the details. What I will say is that Ikehaya-san announced that if you hold an LLAC and the Crypto Ninja partners and an Owl Panda party, you now get access to a special alpha channel in his private Discord. So up until now, his private Discord, ICL, the Ikehaya Crypto Lab or Labo or whatever, you have to pay like $700 to get in. And it's not an NFT, you pay that. Once you're in, if you have 10 Crypto Ninja partners, you get access to like the super elite alpha whatever channel. But now he announced that if you hold one of each, the Owl Panda, LLAC, and CMP, you get access to the channel, but you have some like lower tier, lower rank or something like that. So after he announced that pumped up the floor of APP a bit. I'm sure CMP probably moved a little bit too. I don't really know. I didn't check, but he's very good at this. He's very good at this whole driving the FOMO and then using his influence to keep the floor up. And he's masterful. He's a master at it. And people are absolutely still interested in what he has and what he's doing. So there you go. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. You did not get in, right? To LLAC crypto.
Hmm?
You didn't buy LLAC, right?
I mean, I wish I did.
But, yeah, I was watching that thing like as soon as it launched. I was like, should I get one like under 2 ETH? I should have.
Yeah, my friend was telling me 2 ETH was too cheap. I'm like, And then next thing you know,
yeah,
it went up to 4 ETH. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations to everybody there who's holding that. That was, I think it was a 0.005 mint price, but again, it's not like volume pushed it up. The floor started immediately, like close to 2 ETH. So, it's important to keep that in mind. It's not high volume; it's high belief that drives the price.
Absolutely. That you said it beautifully.
Yeah.
They figured out the way to
oh yeah, it's genius.
Maximize the floor price. Yeah.
It is. It's I mean, it works. It absolutely has been working for them, and nobody else in the Japanese space has been able to duplicate it in that way. They all try in a way, but and honestly, some projects get lazy and they just give out whitelist to whoever they can. Again, it depends on your goals and what you want to do. But yeah, if Ikehaya touches something, he is doing it this way, and only the people that don't sell are going to get whitelists. And if you're in that community, that's it. Like he's not going to give it to anybody else.
Yes, the problem is
but yeah, that's basically what's been. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be completely honest. Like I had 10 Owl Pandas, I sold 9, I have 1. So
if you sell one, like you get disqualified to get the whitelist and all that thing,
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So yeah, like I am resigned to the fact that I will never get a whitelist from Ikehaya.
Well, you got the whitelist by accident by getting the double kitty.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, but like, here's the, they talk about, the diamond hand and the gachi hole or whatever, and then that's fine. That's good. I mean, some projects I do gachi hole, I do diamond hand, like my NTP, like I don't plan on selling that anytime soon. But, for me, maybe it's because I have such experience in the global market and I've lost, a bunch of money on NFTs when I don't sell, like I've come up with my own way of doing things, and like I have my one Owl Panda and I'm happy with that. And if I ever make a bunch of money again, maybe I'll buy another Owl Panda. But I just had to take out funds to recoup some of my losses and keep some cash on hand and be responsible as a responsible adult. I'm not a millionaire. I can't have like $10,000 in NFTs. So yeah, that's my approach. And unfortunately, if people don't like that, well, I'm sorry. That's me as trying to be a responsible degen. So there you go. But yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk about what's coming up. So, what's you want to mention anything that's coming? What's most interesting to you? What are you thinking?
The Anthem is launching soon on the 9th, I think.
Oh, Anthem. Okay, so that's ANTHEM. I will throw in the what's this called? The Twitter link. I'll throw it in the comments. So Anthem, can you tell us a little bit about Anthem?
Yeah, this is the third project made by this founder called Yasun. I met him at the Yu-Gi-Oh event last year, and he gave me the alpha, like, oh, I'm gonna be making another project with the 10 sets, and like a couple of weeks after the full price of his first Genesis collection, Tokyo Brave Hero went like ballistic. It went from like 0.02 to 0.15 or something like that. I don't know what the flow price is at the moment.
0.07. It went back down.
0.07? Oh,
yeah.
Well, people are sweeping the floor to get the whitelist for Anthem, and I see the Discord, and people are really like active on that Discord. So the only concern is the mint price is at 0.05.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty on the on the high side compared to other projects. Like Kurenai was minted at like 0.02 something, and the rest of the project is like 0.0001 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only.
Do you know the supply?
I have about that project. I didn't check the supply. Hold on.
Oh, okay. So, so Yasun, like you said, so his first project was Tokyo Brave Heroes. I remember we talked about that. Well, you talked about how you met him and he told you that he was working with Tencent and all that. We talked about that like probably 2-3 months ago. And Tokyo Brave Heroes, went up, and then he released another one called Evergirl, right? Is that the name? Evergirl? And then this one called Anthem. That one's, like you said, coming out like a week from now, January 9th, maybe. We'd have to double check on the date. I don't know exactly. I've heard a couple of people mention this. I didn't realize it was him. I didn't really realize it was connected to him and Tencent. So seems interesting. I didn't know any details though. So I would definitely keep an eye on it. 0.05. I think Tougenkyou launched for about that price. 0.05 was their whitelist mint price. So Tougenkyou did it, but again, I don't know what the supply is on Anthem. Oh, I think Crypto is having a little trouble. I see he's connecting. Oh, I think did he drop out? Oh, he's requested. Okay, so he had a little internet trouble. So hang on, I'm gonna invite him back up. Give me a second. Should be back. So.
Hello.
Hey, okay. So, do you know the supply, or you're not sure on Anthem?
It's up to 6,000.
6,000. Okay. Well, that's better than 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't think it's impossible, but 0.05 is a little bit high for Japan. So just gotta see.
And that's for the one with the allow list. And if you're like getting in on the public, it costs you 0.06.
Okay. Yeah, I think Tougenkyou followed the same model. They had the double whitelist, and the second one was 0.06. So, but that one was half the supply, 3,000. So, we'll see, because like I said, I think after LLAC, people are interested in other projects and they're interested in spending money. But when you look at the chart on December for when you talk to people and you look at kind of the Twitter activity, it does seem like there's less people in the Japanese space. So I'm not sure how that has changed in these first few days of January. Will it go back up, or what's going to happen with that? I don't know. But once we start seeing these bigger projects launching, well, I guess we'll start to get a better feel. So that's Anthem. That's Anthem. Next, I thought I'd bring up Nayuta. So that's Nayuta. Nayuta is one that, man, this project has been in development, or they've been working on it for months now. Like, I remember hearing about this, like, it was one of the very first projects we talked about when I first met you, Crypto. Like, this is a long time ago.
Yeah, they've been cooking for a while.
Yeah. So I'll give a few details. So Nayuta is, I think the founder is one of the Neo Tokyo Punks guys, right? Shogo?
Oh, is he?
So I think so, yeah. So SHOWGO, Shogo. I am going to put a link for him for his, no, I'm going to put a link for, sorry, that's Anthem. Sorry. Anyway, I'll put a link for Shogo in the comments. But yeah, Shogo has been working on Neo Tokyo Punks with Nico-san. And Shogo he's a Hoso Sakka, which is like a broadcast, like TV writer, I guess. Like he writes. He's a writer. And he's been, I guess, handling some of the story aspects of Neo Tokyo Punks. But this is, I believe this is his project. I'm not sure if he's working on it by himself or he's got like other people on the team. I'm not sure who the artist is, but the art does look cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. And they've released shoot, I don't have Shogo's link. I'll try to find it. But they've released like one or two other really small collections. Basically, I think one is like a mint pass. So if you have that, you're going to get to mint the actual collection. And this one, I believe, is launching in January. I don't know the exact date.
Me neither.
Do you know?
No. It's not. I don't think it's
announced. No? Okay. You don't think it's been announced, or what?
I don't think so. I don't think it's been announced.
Okay. So yeah, I was just talking to some people and they said January, but I don't know the exact details. But again, it's called Nayuta, Nayuta. Shogo, SHOWGO, is the name of the guy, the founder. And I think I have whitelist for this one. I think somebody gave me a whitelist for this. I need to check I need to check in the Discord. But I'm interested, just simply because it's connected to Neo Tokyo Punks. I like that, they've been taking their time with this. There's no rush to get it out. But I don't know the details. Like, I don't know the supply. I don't know the price. But again, the art does look kind of cool, so you may want to keep an eye out for it. I think I found Shogo's Twitter here, so it's at WQ _ Shogo, SHOWGO. Yeah, so he also has a Voicey show, and Voicey is kind of like Japan's podcast like platform. It's not actually a podcast, technically speaking. It's its own independent platform, but most people in Japan, I think they use that to, well, not most, but a lot of people in Japan use that to listen to like audio content. And Ikehaya has his show on Voicey. He's probably like one of the top guys on Voicey. So Shogo has a Voicey show. So he's often, I think multiple times a week he releases episodes. So he's got a following. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's Nayuta. I just posted a link in the comments for anybody that wants to go check out Shogo. What else? What else do we have? What else is coming? CryptobeerPunks. We talked about that one a while ago. I don't know. Anything you want to add about CryptobeerPunks?
I'm not too sure what's happening.
Yeah, I still don't really know anything about this project. It has something to do with craft beer. I know that. It's like connecting craft beer enthusiasts or something like that. So I don't know. CryptobeerPunks. I will include a link in the comments here. That's coming. I don't know the exact date. Sorry, but yeah, CryptobeerPunks. It's at CryptobeerPunks. It's no spaces. Yeah, CryptobeerPunks. Okay, and then one more that I wanted to bring up. I don't know the release date for this. I will have to check on this because I was going to interview the creator, but so there's a Japanese well-known NFT artist. He kind of became known in the NFT space last year. His name is Satoshi Miyachi, and he's done multiple collections. He's like really like an artist kind of like he's done multiple things. But I guess the main collection that people know him for is called Anonymous Man, all one word. So it's OpenSea.io/collection/anonymous man, all one word. I like the art. It's interesting, unique. It's these kind of like anonymous people. Like they don't really have faces, but some have like samurai helmets, and they're kind of cool. They have different characteristics. Like the whole theme of the collection is the fact that now we're online and we're especially like people in like Web3, and we kind of hide behind these PFPs and all that. We don't know each other's faces, and so we're all kind of anonymous, and we're all trying to kind of portray ourselves as these people. So he kind of depicts this in these in this art. I think it's got like 300 pieces or something like that. Anyway, it was doing quite well, and he's going to be releasing a generative version. That was supposed to come out in January, but I haven't followed up with him. And I was going to do an interview with him. I talked to him like last February or March. I did an interview with him. I like him. I think he's got a good following. I think he's got over 10,000 on Twitter. I hope it does well. I don't really know exactly how big it will be or what the supply will be, but it's one I'm personally interested in, and I will probably be DMing him again to see if I can get an interview with him for NFT Nippon before the launch.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So yeah. He's very well known in the space, and he's a nice guy. He's a good guy, very creative. Like I said, he's really more of like an artist, right? But he's trying to kind of develop this into like a bigger community and all that. So I hope it goes well. I will. And I just personally like him. I enjoyed talking to him. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, the Genesis collection is called Anonymous Man, and I think the generative is called something like Anonymous Invisible or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. It was something like that. But if you check his Twitter, you're going to see it. So just go to the link I put here, and the OpenSea.io/collection/anonymous man. Check the Twitter link; it'll take you there. So that's basically it. I mean, there's more stuff, of course, but those are kind of like the big ones that caught our attention. There's always little ones popping up here and there, but one thing I'll mention is, did you hear what happened with Camille?
Yeah.
Crypto?
Yeah.
So I don't know all the details, but it's something like a copyright issue, right? Like, so it seems like there was so we've talked about Camille before, Kamio, big project, related to like Shinto, and we like the main guy that's kind of like the what's he called, the like the representative, kind of the main guy leading the project. It is another project that had or has a tie kind of with Ikehaya-san, like he was kind of promoting a little bit. And I bought a few, and the floor went up, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the project, I've been saying since the beginning, I think it does have potential. They're pushing out a lot of content. And then like yesterday or the day before, I don't know exactly when it was, but like a tweet came out, like an artist said that they kind of used maybe one of his characters or something like without his permission, but then it's kind of more complicated than that. They were like DMing back and forth, and it seems like it was maybe more of an misunderstanding, not something really on purpose. And so, maybe it's not such a big deal, but also people were talking about it and kind of critical. So I don't really know all the details, but I just know that people were talking about that. So I don't know if you want to add anything on that.
Well, I know Mr. Murakami, and I met with him in Japan and went to his event, or we had a drinks together. And he's a great guy, and he's not the guy who like purposefully deceive people. There's so much rumor surrounding this issue, and I don't want to.
Oh, really?
I don't want to touch it because I don't want to.
Yeah, I understand.
Take sides. I just want to say like my perspective about who he is. He's a great guy, and I think he is like taking legal action perhaps, or like he's assuring people that he's going to take legal action if the things escalates even further.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't interacted with him as much as you have. What I've seen, he seems like a nice guy. It seems like they're really serious about the project, and I've said from the beginning, like they're always doing stuff on Voicey. They're always doing spaces. They're always, really pushing. They've been trying to do this for years outside of Web3, building up this whole kind of pop culture Shinto angle, building interest in Shinto, Japanese religion, right? And so, I saw potential in this. Again, I don't know all the details of this art thing. From what I heard, it really does seem like it may have been a big misunderstanding. Who's in the wrong, who's in the right, I don't know. I just know that this was something that was, people were talking about in the Japanese space. So just thought I'd bring it up. But yeah, it does seem like it's going to take a little while to resolve. But whatever the case, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Floor dumped to like half, and it recovered really quickly. So that's how people feel about the project.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean that's reminds me of HOOZUKI, right? Like the dump floor, but the floor dumped, but it went back up pretty quickly. That means people really believe in it. So there you go. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, I don't have any cameo anymore, but I did at one point, and I bought under the thesis that I thought, I'm seeing them work really hard. I don't see how this doesn't go up at least a little bit.
Remember you talked about this, anyway, like special channel at the Ikehaya's project, right? Like if you hold this,
yeah,
you get to hang out in that channel. The people who hang out in that channel, they sweep the project, right? And the cameo is one of the subjects they talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a secret, guys. So people know about this, and people talk about this. Like, I heard a YouTuber, a Japanese YouTuber, I think it was Zubo Oji, but he was talking about how like these flippers were not flippers, sorry, sweepers were sweeping a lot of these like CMP connected projects, and it's something like even Ikehaya's well, I think he mentions it. So this isn't like some secret back deal. It's just that people know about it. So I mean, we're not spreading rumors or anything. It's just the case.
Yeah. It's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact, and it's not a secret. People know about it. So like the thing is, like a lot of these projects, they tend to be very cheap, right? So it doesn't take that much to sweep the floor, and then once you get the floor up, these are diamond hand people, so they're not going to be like dumping it. So the floor usually holds. So yeah, they were buying cameo. I think even like they bought some of those when the floor of LLAC was under 2 ETH. I think they were buying some to help get it up too. So yeah, that's be aware of that. I mean, if you're in the project, that's good for you because the floor goes up. So big. So, but yeah, that's basically it. I can't think of anything else to bring up for this week. I'm sure we'll discuss more next week. Are you gonna be back in Japan next week or not sure yet?
I think I'm still gonna be in Thailand.
Okay, more training.
More yeah, it's needed. Yeah, I have. Eventually, I have to go back to Japan to attend some parties and that.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually you go back and you do the actual battling.
Yeah, and gotta do the interview with Mr. Mano.
Oh, with who?
Mr. Amano.
Oh, Yoshitaka Amano. Yeah. But you met him once, and now you're gonna do an interview.
Yeah, and we're gonna record it.
Nice. Yeah, you got to do that. Yeah. Oh yeah, like speaking of like that just reminded me of this other project that launched recently, Metaka Wars. Did you see that?
Yeah, but I just glanced at it basically.
Yeah. Like I was interested simply because of the art. The designer was one of the guys that worked on Gundam and all that, so that seemed pretty cool. But it's so weird that it seems like they really didn't do much marketing to the Japan side. They basically just focused on the English market, and it got some attention at launch. But I think the volume has probably died down and people have kind of moved on.
Yeah.
But I found it so strange that a project like that, they have such a person that's so well known and would have a lot of respect in Japan. They really didn't try in Japan. They didn't go to any of the big communities or anything.
Like a lot of artists create art for big IP anonymously. So so many artists are making arts for big IP like Gundam. So there could be multiple artists who make this art without disclosing their name, because
that too. But also, I think something that happens is that maybe the company behind Metaka Wars, I don't know, but some of these projects, I know they're not Japanese. They just hire a Japanese artist and they just have them do the art, but the artist isn't really involved with the project. They just do the art and then they move on from there. And so that project doesn't feel the need to market to Japan because they're not even a Japanese company. Even though I'm sure people in Japan would have been interested.
Who's artist? Let me find
I can't remember his name, but look it up. I'm sure it won't take you that long to find it. But he's an old guy. He's one of these old school Gundam people. He's I think people that know Gundam probably know this guy. He's one of these mecha designers.
Yeah.
So I showed it to somebody and she knew who he was.
Is he the original artist for Gundam or just?
Well, no, because that's no, he's one of the designers. There's but he's one of the old guys. So I think people that are into all this mecha manga kind of stuff, they probably know who he is. So he's a known person, not top tier, not like the creator of Gundam, but he's a known person. But it just seems like it may have been a non-Japanese company and they just hired him and marketed to the rest of the world. If that's not the case, please somebody correct me, but that's the impression that I got, and I thought that was it felt kind of weird. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's Metaka Wars. I mean, it was so weird. When I looked at the Twitter, it had tens of thousands of followers, I think, but not a single Japanese person that I knew was following it. It was so strange.
That's so strange. Wow.
Yeah, that is so freaking strange because I follow most of the big people in Japan, and a lot of the big people in Japan follow me. And so when I see not followed by anyone, I was like, what the hell? What is this? So it was very, very strange. I don't know who did that project, but it was very confusing. So anyway, it was selling. I think it's calmed down now, but so yeah. But anyway, that was Metaka Wars. But that's basically it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. We'll probably be back next week. I don't know. Nothing else to announce. We're done. We're done. So if you want to follow us, you can go to me. That's my at the Vega Tony is my account. At Kuri, Curi, the DGen is crypto. And for Tokyo Alpha, that's at Tokyo Alpha HQ. That's where I tweet in English. I mostly tweet in Japanese on my account, but sometimes I tweet out in English too. So go check that stuff out, and we will be back next week. Crypto, thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure to be here.
You keep going with your Shugyo. And
I forgot to mention one of the projects done by my friend.
What?
Yeah, have you ever heard of this project called Skater John?
Oh yeah, Skater John. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah. They are minting soon on January 20th.
Oh, okay.
And
that's a small collection, right?
550. Their Genesis collection is only 23, and the floor price is 3.9 each. But the volume, they don't have much volume,
Yeah. I mean that collection is small, but it's getting. I think it's been getting quite a bit of attention, and I think small collections right now have good potential because I think people are a little bit tired of the big collections, and so maybe a small collection right now might be a little bit more how can I put it? Like it might be kind of refreshing for people, like a little bit of a change, smaller community. People are closer. You actually get to know more people. So that might be good. I mean, I know they've been working on this for a long time. Like I first learned about this project like I don't know, like 3-4 months ago, I think.
Yeah, the founder is like a baby in this project, and he is handpicking diamond hands. So this project will cook. I mean, nobody's gonna be selling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Skater John is I think the original collection. But the generative is called What's Up, John.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the main guy, the founder, I think his Twitter account is Skater John, right? I think that's the name he goes by.
That's